What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the next episode of Talk Smack with Mac. I'm here with another friend all the way back from middle school, I believe. Uh, you know,
Great.
yeah, friend after Lives got on the podcast, everybody seen it from high school and was like, "Oh man, that shit was dope. I want to do that too." So I appreciate it. But yeah, man, Armando, I appreciate you hopping on, man. I know your opinion in basketball and football is very valid. I've been following you for a while, so I'm excited to see what you have to say, man. How you been?
Appreciate it, man. I've been good. Just busy out here working in Washington now.
In Washington? Yeah, what are you doing out there?
I've been out here for like 6 years. Be 6 years in like 10 days, I think. Be my 6 years here. I've been came out here to do my apprenticeship for work, and then planned on doing 4 years and finishing the apprenticeship and going back to Vegas, and just still here.
Yeah. What is it? You just like it too much or too good of a
Nah, not
situation?
really. I don't really like it out here. Just different stuff. And I'm
Yeah,
doing good work. Like work's the only reason I'm still out here, pretty much.
that's cool, man. Well, I always remember, I forgot for a second, but I asked you what your favorite teams were. And then as soon as you said the Patriots, a light bulb went off. I was like, oh, yeah, he is a Patriots fan. So tell me about the Patriots, how you feel about Tom leaving, how you feel about the upcoming season, how they're going to do.
Man, that was like the worst news ever having Brady leave. It was like 2020 was no bad enough year already. It sucks, but it's like feel like they pushed them out. So I'm happy they got Cam Newton because I was thinking we were about to suck this year. I was thinking we were going to get maybe 5 wins, if that, with Stidham. And I don't know, I think the Patriots got a good playoff chance now. See if Cam's healthy or what. And
Yeah.
he,
So I
he,
was I was I was catching a lot of heat from a lot of Patriots fans when I was on Instagram. I was saying the Patriots, man, they're not going to make the playoffs. They're going to win about 4 or 5 games. This is pre Cam signing, and a lot of Patriots fans were hating on me, just giving me so much shit. But I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you are not being biased and being actually being honest here.
I
Now,
was being honest, man. Like I
signing,
said,
yeah, with signing Cam, how do you feel about that?
it all depends on which Cam's coming, and all these little Instagram videos and stuff he's making about being hungry and being angry and this and that. Hopefully he's right and he comes out ready to play. He ain't scared to dive on a fumble or something, and
Yeah.
ready to play. Learns the system. Hopefully Belichick, gets him in the right mindset because I feel like sometimes he's just more concerned about his little designer outfits and whatever the hell he'd be wearing sometimes. So
Yeah,
that's
I could
not really the
definitely see
Patriots
that.
way. You never really see a player like that go into the Patriots locker room. So it's gonna be. I
Well,
think he can be a
I
winner
feel
though.
like when Randy Moss had that kind of down year when he went to the Raiders, and then he went to the Patriots and he got his act together and then he broke records. So I'm not exactly expecting that out of Cam. I know Cam has had multiple surgeries and injuries, but I feel like he's one hell of a guy that could kind of right the ship and kind of guide you guys uh, to the playoffs and ride the defense that you guys got because
I
you
was
guys got
surprised
a
he
pretty
fell
fire
to
D.
us.
Yeah,
Like I didn't. I was surprised no other teams were trying to get him. Like this Patriots going to get him for the minimum, like always, and if it works out. Let's see what happens. See if they can keep the success going. Not gonna lie though, I'm low key rooting for Brady this year. Like if the Patriots don't win it, I want Brady to win it just so he can prove and say that he's the GOAT. It was
yeah.
more him than Belichick. So I'll be happy if the Bucks can somehow make a miracle happen. If the Patriots, because I don't predict the Patriots winning a Super Bowl. I can see us, maybe winning a playoff game if Cam's doing good, but see, I think it's gonna be really hard for anyone to beat the Chiefs or the Ravens in the AFC this year.
Yeah, I definitely can't see them being any better than they were last season, which they got beat by a hot Titans team.
Tennessee.
Yeah. So you mentioned Tom Brady. I want to ask you, you've been a Patriots fan for a long time. How much of a decline have you seen with Tom Brady in a recent or a couple seasons, if any?
I mean, I think it's just the supporting cast. Like, who do you have to throw to last year? His best guy is Edelman, who was hurt, and he was getting double teamed every fucking play. Because who else can you throw the ball to? A
I
rookie who
completely agree.
got Nikhil Harry, and everyone's like, "Oh, we finally got a receiver in the first round." Blah blah, and boom, he's hurt right away and can't come back into a rhythm. Like, what? Brady won a Super Bowl 2 years ago with Amendola, and or not even Amendola. Uh, oh yeah, it was Amendola. He got
Hmm.
rid of. It's like if we won with Amendola and Hogan and Edelman, and no one's really gonna say that's the most elite
Yeah. Oh
core right there.
hell no. Those are a bunch of
Got a Peter
like a,
Gronkowski, and the year they won against the Falcons, Gronk didn't even play, and Brady still won with that three core right there. But I mean, last year who do you have? Dorsett.
he didn't have anybody.
Yeah, he had nothing to do. That's why I think he's gonna light it up this year. I think he might struggle for the first 2 games or something, like try to get into a rhythm. But then all the weapons he's got in Tampa now, it's like the best weapon squad he's had ever since he had Randy Moss.
I was gonna say I think this is the best offensive group that he had since you guys went undefeated. Because
Very,
he's never had 2 all pro receivers unless Wes Welker and Randy Moss both made all pro at the same time.
when we lost the Super Bowl the second time to the Giants, when we had Hernandez and Gronkowski, that 2-headed monster with the tight ends right there, they were killing it that year until they lost the Super Bowl. But
Yeah.
see what he can do. I mean, he's got how many weapons now? About 4, 5 that
Well,
Godwin, Gronk, Howard.
And Cameron Brate. Everybody forgets about Cameron Brate, but he lights it up in the red zone. One of the best red zone tight end threats in the league.
And we all know how much he loves throwing to the tight ends in the red zone too. So it's
yeah, exactly.
That's why he went straight to the Bucs. He was like, man, anywhere I look, it's not a bad option to throw to. And compared to the Patriots, like everywhere I looked this year, it's a bad option to throw to.
Yeah, Cam's gonna have a hard time trying to hit those guys, but he didn't actually have elite talent for the back end of his career in Carolina either.
I mean, who were his main weapons? He had Calvin Benjamin.
He fell off the face of the earth as soon as they traded him.
Well, right after they traded him, yep. I was like, Cam never really had too much. He was the main reason they were so good that year. He was running like crazy when he had to, and he was making them late night or the late game drives every time he had to. For like every game that season where he needed to make a drive, except the Super Bowl, he made it.
Yeah, when he was doing the whole Superman thing, he was tearing it up. He was tearing it up. So I want to ask you, with coronavirus, there's not really an off season for NFL teams. Do you see, in my opinion, the teams that have the advantage are the teams that have the best chemistry, that's been together the longest, because they don't really need an off season. They just got to kind of knock off that rust. But for Tom Brady going to a new team and teams with new head coaches and stuff like that, those teams are really going to struggle this year. Do you know any team in particular that you could see really struggling?
I think the Bucs could really struggle the first 2 weeks. I mean, I know they play the Raiders, I believe, the first game or the second game. So I think that'll be an easy win for them. But I still see them struggling a little bit even in it. And, because, especially them, you got old Brady who's only used to one system and all new players and everything. I could see the Saints beating them week 1 for sure. But then I think the Bucs, second game they play the Saints, I think the Bucs will take them.
We beat the Saints at least one time every season. We actually compete pretty well in our division every season. We just suck everywhere else.
I'm excited to see. I didn't expect, or I kind of expected them to get rid of Jameis Winston, but I thought they would, want their backup plan already. I didn't know they were going to get, the GOAT for their backup. Like,
it's really weird because I fucking hate the Patriots, man.
I know. I was listening to you talk to Elijah, and I was just sitting there laughing, like,
I hate them.
Who doesn't hate the Patriots, man?
Fucking cheaters.
That's one of the funnest parts about being a fan, especially out here in Washington, man. I walk around with my jersey or my Patriots hats, and all I hear is people talking shit, and I just always bring up that Super Bowl with Seattle. It's like, because that was right after I moved here. That was my first year living here. Was like I moved here in July, and 7 months later, the Patriots beat the Seahawks after I had been talking shit all to everyone that I met since I had moved here. I was telling everyone, it's going to be Patriots and Seahawks in the Super Bowl this year, and Patriots going to win it. And it actually happened, man.
By the skin of your teeth, too.
Oh, yeah. I still remember I was on my knees watching the fucking, right when they were at the goal line, I was on my knees like, man, the Patriots really just lost their third one in a row. I was living in a duplex at the time, so I could hear my neighbors just going crazy on the other side. And as soon as that interception happened, I just heard dead silence on that side of the wall, and I got up screaming. I ran, pounded on the wall. I ran outside the neighborhood into the cul-de-sac. I lost my voice screaming Patriots, man. I've always had a great time going out here anywhere in Patriots anything. Like, it's especially when you go to actual downtown Seattle.
Yeah.
Everyone's always hating out here, man. They will never forget that Super Bowl.
I wouldn't either, man. That was like the most horrible call ever made. Not only did they have a timeout, but they had plenty of time, and it was
And they
like
had 3
first
more
or
down.
second down. Yeah, what the fuck were they? What was Pete Carroll thinking? I know he was like, let's trick them because they know what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
But yeah, let them try to stop Marshawn from
I thought
going
game
in the
was
end
over
zone.
for sure. I thought it was
Yeah.
done. I'm pretty sure like 99% of the world thought it was done. Like, and Malcolm Butler, man, shoot, that one play made his whole career, you know.
Got him a nice paycheck. Well,
Yeah,
hey,
I was mad.
what I wanted to ask you, how the fuck are you a Patriots fan and a Lakers fan?
Because when I was young, I didn't even know New England was in Boston. Like, my dad had never even told me. Like, I just went to watch a game with him. It was the Tucker Rule game against the Raiders. My dad took me to his buddy's house. And it was a bunch of his, like, coworkers and stuff there. And they were all huge Raider fans. And I was just, everyone's all, you're going for the Raiders, right? Going for the Raiders, right? And I just wanted to be that little dickhead kid. And I was like, no, I'm going for the other team.
It just stuck with them ever since.
And the other team won, yeah. And then I watched them
sh-
again. They won the Super Bowl. And then the next year, you know, they didn't even make the playoffs. They went 9-7. And then they won the Super Bowl again after that. And then I got my first game of Madden, started playing with the Patriots. And then they won the Super Bowl again after that. And then I was like, I was just hooked. Like, I didn't even find out they were from Boston until I think like 6th grade, 5th or 6th grade.
I had to start putting two and two together.
I was like, New England, you know. And then like when I found out, I was like, fuck, that's the Celtics fucking like partner. And I'm a diehard Lakers fan. I was like, they hate each other, but I was like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm already committed. Like,
yeah, after 3 Super Bowls, I wouldn't have backed out either.
I can't just sit here and be like, you know what? I'm cheering for another football team now, and I definitely wasn't going to cheer for another basketball team because growing up, I was definitely more of a Laker fan than anything else. That was my main thing because of Kobe.
Yeah. Hell yeah, man.
And then I just always stuck it through, and then like I said, and now it's fun being a Patriots fan, like I said, especially out here, just because it's always someone that wants to say something. There's always a good conversation piece with it, or I mean, I've been asked that question. I probably answered that the same answer like 100 times, like out here, you know.
Yeah.
People ask me all the time, "Oh, you're from Vegas? Are you a Patriots fan?" I'm like, first team I watched, and I didn't have a team. I was like, I'm a free agent at that point, I think, you know.
I felt the same way. How do you feel with the Raiders come? Are you going to be a Raiders fan if you move back, or?
I mean, I'll go to the games whenever like I can, like a fun game, like especially like I really wanted to go see the Bucks and Raiders games. I wanted to go to Vegas for that, fucking see Brady.
Man.
Because I was so pissed. I've been waiting for the Patriots to come to Seattle for years. I know last time was 8 years ago. Last time they played was 4 years ago. So I was like, that means next year they're coming to Seattle.
And then
then Brady leaves, and I was like, man, I just had to watch him play before he retired. I don't even want to go to the game no more. Now I might because of Cam, if I can get tickets somehow. But
if they even have fans. I know some places are announcing they're not even having fans this season.
Yeah, they just said the preseason games for this week or whatever are no fans now, the Giants and Jets games.
I think they're canceling preseason. That's the talks that they're having right now.
Completely canceling it now?
Yeah, they were. I think the NFLPA is talking something like no preseason games for the players to get acclimated to the coronavirus and the rules and shit like that. So they're betting to have no preseason at all.
Hey man, as long as they don't cancel the regular season.
Yeah, man, it's definitely like a adapt as you will kind of season right now for everybody. You know, for that matter, it's pretty fucked up.
Even the stuff like the bubble with the NBA and all that. Like I just heard they announced today that they're going to make it a 10-minute quarters now.
What?
And
why?
Yeah, shorten the game. So it can be 10-minute quarters now instead of 12.
I didn't see that. Damn.
Oh, today I think they said it was for exhibition games. I don't know if they're going to do it like into
for
actual
regular. Okay.
But yeah, they
shit,
said,
man. Yeah, don't change that.
They said that's one of the ideas they're considering right now. So they're going to try it out with the exhibition games, I guess. Which I mean, I don't think it makes sense. You know, it's 8 extra minutes. They're all exposed to each other anyways out there.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what the fuck? If you're testing negative, then you're good. So why does it matter if you're playing 10 or fucking 12?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Well, that's gonna
shit,
be
with basketball, man, it's right around the corner. I'm excited as hell.
Yeah, what do you think about the Lakers? What do you think they're gonna do?
Oh, I think we're taking it for sure. No, honestly, I think it's gonna be the Lakers and the Clippers for sure. I don't see any other team beating those guys in a 7-game series. I mean, when has LeBron lost in the playoffs the last time? Before the
Strictly with the
finals.
finals.
Yeah, man, he just does. He switches into a different person in the playoffs and just dominates. Then you
Oh,
you
but
can't forget about Anthony Davis, and then
that's what I was about to say.
the forgotten star though is Kuzma. He's really the X factor. He's kind of been trying to find out where
Right.
he's at. Frank Vogel came
He's
out
been on the
today and
down
said
year this year, kind of, but
Frank Vogel came out and said Kuzma is dominating guys in scrimmages.
I think who
So
could be like a key piece for us that needs to like step it up would be Danny Green. That motherfucker, you seen him in the playoffs sometimes. He gets going, he'll hit 6, 7 threes a game for you, like.
mm-hmm.
And he plays some good D.
Yep.
We're gonna need defense now that Avery Bradley left. That didn't
I'm
want to
I'm
come.
expecting Caruso to slide into the point guard position and just play really good
He's
defense.
gonna start over Jr.
Oh man, I don't even think Jr. is going to be a big point in our rotation.
Just depends on what kind of Jr. it is,
I think every game, Jr., Deion Waiters, and Quinn Cook will get like one chance. Put them in there. Let's see if they get hot. Because if those guys get hot, they keep going. Put them in there, see if they get hot. If they don't, take them out. Try again next game.
Yeah, you're right about them getting hot, especially Jr. Because he gets hot. That dude, I mean, he's gonna shoot it 20 times in a quarter, but
Hey, man, he makes them around 40% from three, so I'm not complaining. I thought JR was actually a solid pickup.
Oh, yeah, I was happy about it. I didn't think we were going to get him and Waiters, but, I mean, guess it works out.
Man, I was kind of against Deion Waiters coming. I'm just not a big fan of his.
I was until they were like, apparently everyone from the Lakers and stuff said that he came in like the best shape of his life and he's been working hard. And because I didn't like him when he was with Cleveland at all. I thought he was garbage in Cleveland.
And I believe Miami,
getting
too.
a second chance. Some guys just need that little fucking redemption shot. Like, hey, you don't make it right now, you ain't coming back next year, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm excited to see, man. If those guys get hot, I think they could really help us out. But the Clippers, man, they have a lot of depth. 1 through like 15 is a solid player. But people forget once you get in the playoffs, you don't have a deep rotation. It's like 8, maybe 9 guys max. You get to like the Western Conference Finals, and the finals, you're playing like a 7, barely 8-man rotation. So
Yeah,
their
but I mean,
depth
the Clippers
doesn't really
do have
matter.
the chance to, rest their stars a little bit more. Like, because they do have, there's not a single person really that's like a weak spot on that team.
I think our best chance is running pick and rolls against on Lou Will on defense, and then just whoever's playing the 5 has to dominate Zubac.
I don't think Zubac will really be too big of a. I mean, sometimes he shows up, and sometimes it's like he
But he
looks
struggles
like he doesn't
against.
even try to get in the way. Sometimes, like he just lets you lay it up right beside him. He just looking at the ball.
Yep. He struggles against athletic bigs often. So I want to see how JaVale and Dwight and then Anthony Davis at the 5, how they're going to come at him. Or even if he plays big minutes, I could see Montrezl Harrell playing the 5 for a lot of the game, or Morris playing the 5. So
Yeah, I thought it was pretty big that Dwight decided to come back. I thought he was going to sit it out, and I was like, Dwight makes a big difference,
yeah,
Let
Dwight has
JaVale and
been
him
playing
pick
great
off
this
and let
season.
AD play the 4 like he likes to. Keep everyone happy, and that's true. Dwight and JaVale, that's 2 big shot blocking combos right there, and then AD shot blocking with LeBron. I mean, we got a pretty good defensive squad too.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely not going to say it's the Clippers squad, but not the Clippers defensively. But Lakers got an underrated defensive squad, I think. I don't think people give them enough credit for what they can do on defense.
Who do you think's coming out of the East?
I want to say Milwaukee, but I really feel like Philly or someone can find a way to stop Giannis this time. Like, I mean, do what Toronto did to him last year.
I'm big on the Sixers, man.
Yeah, I know if they had Jimmy Butler still, I think for sure it would have been the Sixers coming out this year. If they didn't let Jimmy Butler go, because he's a monster in Miami. I mean, Miami's doing good this year too.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
I think against Giannis, like you were saying, that rotation of like Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, and Al Horford on Giannis, I think those guys could really wear them down and rotate between the three of them against Giannis in the playoffs if they were to play each other. That's one of my favorite matchups I love to see in the playoffs is the Sixers and the Bucks.
Yeah, especially if you turn Giannis into a jump shooter, you know. They keep their body on him, don't let him get to the hole like he does against everyone else, like nothing, you know. Just make him start shooting over and over, and yeah, he ain't the best shooter.
No, definitely. Well, I wanted to switch over, man, back to football. I made a
Yeah.
list recently on Instagram, on the Talk Smack with Mac Instagram page, of my top 10 running backs in the league.
Currently? Or
Right now, yep. I'm gonna name some guys, and I'm gonna name where I got them listed at, and I want you to tell me if you think they should be higher or lower or not even on the list.
all right.
I got Nick Chubb at number 5.
I don't know. He did pretty much the only highlight of Cleveland pretty much this year. I got to hear the other 4 you got above him before I say if he's just right or not.
You just got to give me higher or lower. You can say the same, or if
I
he's good
think
at 5.
I'll say same. He can stay at 5.
All right. Le'Veon Bell. 8.
You got him at 4?
He's
You got
at
him at
8.
8?
Yep.
I think he could be lower. I think he should be about 10 this year just because he's definitely a top 10 running back in the league. I'd definitely keep him in the top 10. But I know it was the Jets, but he talked a big game for the little bit of numbers he put up last year. So I would definitely say he's got to be 10th.
Gotcha. Ezekiel Elliott. 3.
That's fair. I'll leave him at 3. I got 2 ahead of him.
Christian McCaffrey. 1.
Yep.
Dalvin Cook. 7.
I'd say he's a 6 or a 7. See, I'll say it's fair.
Saquon Barkley. 2.
2. Yep.
Joe Mixon. 9.
That's fair.
All right, I'm going to name some guys that did not make my list, and some people are giving me some shit for it. Josh Jacobs did not make
The
my list.
Raiders?
Yes.
Nah, I'd say he's 11, 12, 13, maybe.
Adam Jones from the Packers.
You mean Aaron Jones?
Oh, yeah, my bad. Aaron Jones.
I don't know, because I don't think you said did you say an 8? Oh, yeah, you did say an 8. But I would put him at 8, I would think. He carried last year.
He didn't even make my list.
I know, so he didn't make your list. I was saying I would put him at 8. Like I said, I thought you had Le'Veon Bell.
All right.
You had Le'Veon at 8, right? So I would definitely put him over.
Gotcha. How do you feel about this? I got Alvin Kamara at 6.
That's what I was wondering. I was like, I know you're like, are you really leaving Alvin Kamara out your 10? But all right, he's at 6. I'd say that's fair.
All right, man. I'll read my whole list to you. Number 1, we got Christian McCaffrey. 2, Saquon Barkley. 3, Ezekiel Elliott. 4, Derrick Henry. 5, Nick Chubb. 6, Alvin Kamara. 7, Dalvin Cook. 8, Le'Veon Bell. 9, Joe Mixon. And 10, Melvin Gordon.
Sure, they got. You see what Madden got Melvin ranked at this year?
No, where do they got him?
I just watched their Madden reactions just like a little bit before you called me, and they got him at 18th best running back.
Oh,
Like an 84 overall or 86, something like that.
Yeah, he definitely
18th.
needs to stay healthy, man. If he doesn't stay healthy, he's gonna fall off my list. But all he has to do is stay healthy, and he's gonna produce. That may not mean more yards, but I could see more touchdowns, and I could see a higher yards per carry than last season. I think he had like 3.3 last season. But he's also sharing the backfield with Philip Lindsay too, who I don't know if people are forgetting about him. He's a dog, so he's gonna get his.
Like that Danny Woodhead little type of player. Some little small white running backs that you think are somehow, like, how the hell are they getting away from these people or squeezing through those hits or just even getting up from them hits? Like, I think Danny Woodhead was like, what, 5'6", 160 pounds, something like that.
Man,
Getting hit
yeah,
by
he
back
has some
then.
big balls. Big balls. You wouldn't see me doing that shit.
So I see Ray Lewis staring at me, and I'm just like turning off, like putting the helmet down. Like, you know what, Coach? You guys are paying me the minimum anyways, man. I don't know if I want to go out there and lose my head right now.
Yeah, $500,000 to die today. I'm not rolling those dice.
I'm gonna learn how to do that good quarterback kneel. I don't care if I'm the running back.
Man, you're not lying. Shit. So speaking of Madden, I know you play Madden a lot. Man, what can you tell me about Madden and your experience with Madden?
I mean, I actually stopped playing once I moved here. I started playing again on Madden 20. And, I mean, I used to be really, really good. I used to sit there like a little nerd, mess with the top 10 people on the leaderboards all the time and get them to reply. And I remember back in the day, I beat the guy who was number 3, the guy who was number 7, the guy who was number 9. And I would always get ranked up to like the top 300, but I couldn't play enough games to keep up with all the other people.
Yeah, some people just play
I even got
non-stop.
back on it. Like I said, I got back on it this year. I found a website I play on, challenge people for money, one-on-ones, or you can do tournaments or whatever. Getting on there, it's pretty fun. But, I mean, yeah, I played, our boy LJ, right?
No, I didn't know.
LJ McMorris, I played him. He commented on Facebook, and I played him. It was on Elijah's post. Elijah said he wanted to play, and me and LJ ended up playing. And I think I got a picture. I don't remember what the final score was exactly, but I think it was like 42-7 or something like that.
Ooh.
He got mad, bro. I was he turned off his mic and everything. Like, man, I told y'all. I told him before we played. I was like, bro, I'm
LJ,
good.
bro, you gonna let him talk shit like that? He did you 40-something to 7, man.
I got the picture because I was like, in case he ever tries to deny it, I always get the pictures after I beat someone.
Send me the picture. I'm gonna send it to him and laugh.
I'll look for it. Yep.
Hey, but I haven't even played Madden in like 2 years. I used to play a lot. I used to be really good. I stopped playing because I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I couldn't find anybody that could beat me, right? And then I realized like Madden's not changing at all. It's not. It was like the same game for so many years. I was like, why am I even spending my money on it? Is Madden 20 any different?
Oh, yeah, because like I said, the last one I played on was 14, or which one was
Oh yeah, it's way different than shit.
it? Was like 14 or 15. Like the last time I bought a Madden, I just literally stopped playing video games when I moved out here. I just got rid of my PlayStation 3 at the time. I just never even went and got a PS4. And then I just recently went and got one. And man, that's the only game I pretty much do play is just because it was different. Yeah, especially like because I don't play the computer or nothing because that's just boring as hell. So I just downloaded the game and jumped online right away and just started playing. And then I started off bad and I never have. I think I was like 2-4, and I've
Oof.
never been under 500 before on Madden ever. And
Yeah.
then I went off at like a 12-game win streak and then like a 9-game win streak and got my record looking pretty damn good again. And then I stopped playing head-to-head games once I found that website you could play for money on.
And are you up or are you down in total since you've been playing?
I'd say honestly, I'm probably up only like $150. I haven't even withdrawn the money out the account. It just sits in the account just that way I don't gotta. I'm waiting because I haven't done it in a couple of weeks. I haven't played video games in a couple of weeks at all. I've been working hella overtime lately, so
Yeah.
I don't have energy for it after I get home from work. I'm gone from like 4 a.m. to like 6 p.m. every day. So I
Yeah,
just
that's a long ass day. Well, I appreciate you getting on the podcast. I know you're probably dead as hell.
that's why I'm sitting here. Like I said, I'm just waiting to. I had to go hit the dispensary, and I'm just.
Oh man, I was gonna say you can while we're talking if you want. I don't know if you're gonna do it in private and relax and shit. I feel you.
Nah,
Oh
that's really,
yeah, he was like, man, I was just waiting for the okay.
it's normally what I do, man. I get home and like I said, I can't play video games or watch it because if I go inside and I turn on the TV, it's don't matter if it's a 10-minute show, bro. I'm out. As soon as the TV comes on and I hear the TV, I'm just.
Man, I didn't even turn the TV on today because I fall asleep too as soon as I. It's so calming and relaxing.
I can never watch a movie anymore. So, like I touch my bed, bro, and I'm just out. So it's like I hate coming home from work and just falling asleep immediately.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, man, I don't live to just
Sleep
be
and
at
work.
work all day and then come home and go to sleep and do the shit again tomorrow. Like, no, I gotta get
How many
home
days
and
a week you working?
lately 6. They're giving
So
us 10 hours Monday through Friday and then 8 hours Saturday.
okay, so you're grinding. What exactly do you do?
I'm an iron worker, the union iron worker.
Oh, that sounds kind of fun. Or does it suck?
Building all the, I mean, it's hard. It's like a lot of people say it's one of the hardest things in construction. It's like building the skeleton of the walls, like you ever seen like the reinforcing bars, all the rebar. I don't know if you know what rebar is.
Yeah.
And just placing that shit all day. Right now, I'm like on one of the biggest jobs in Washington. We're redoing all the Microsoft. Like they tore down like the original first Bill Gates buildings and shit, and we're building right now like a huge 5-ground underfloor parking garage, and then there's like 17 or 18 new Microsoft buildings that are going up with tunnels connecting to this parking garage, and it's like a 4-year project. I've been on it for like 9 months already.
Man, that's pretty cool. So you can see it's like the evolution of the thing before anybody
Oh,
else.
yeah.
The
Yeah, we're right
depth
there
and the
from
insight.
ground level, from when it's just all dirt, and then we do the foundations, and we do the walls, like everything. Anything that has concrete in it has to have rebar in it. So.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a grinding job, bro. I mean, a lot of people don't like it. A lot of people don't want to do it.
I like that shit.
Yeah,
I definitely would not like to do it for a long time, but more power to you. But for
I
a
could
few
find me,
months, I like that shit.
if I could find an easy job that pay me close to what I make, I would do it. Like in an office or an AC or something, I would do it. But,
See, that's what would suck if you came back to Vegas, man, is doing it in 110, 108.
Oh, it's a trade-off because in Vegas it's a dry heat at least, and yeah, it gets hot out there. Here it gets like about 90, 95 in the summer,
Super
but
humid.
humid as shit. And then when it's not humid and hot, it rains 9 months out the year, and there ain't nothing worse than working in nonstop rain for a week straight when it's 30 degrees.
Oh,
Like you soaked, 2 minutes after getting out your car, and the day ain't getting any better at all. And like Washington, bro, we've been on a streak. I think it was last year we went like a record 100 and something days, like 104 days with no sunshine.
is that
Like,
depressing to you?
not really to me, because I don't like working in the heat,
Yeah.
but I don't like working in the rain either. So it's like I'm fucked either way. But then, yeah, it's just, I mean, Washington is by like statistically the number one most depressing state, I guess. Like it's people are like,
Unless you love the rain, then you're just fucking happy at all times.
yeah, and if you love the rain, that means you don't work in it. So. I used to like the rain too. I used to like the rain too until, my dad told me when I moved here, he's like, it rains every day. And I was like, all right, yeah, sure. Maybe sprinkles a lot. He wasn't playing, man. It rains.
Is it like a steady rain, or is it like
It's
like
both. Sometimes it's hard, heavy drops, and you're soaked in a minute. And other days it's just, light rain, but still nonstop all day. You're still soaked by the end of the day. Like, it's just bipolar. And then some days, you'll be driving and it's pouring rain 1 minute. Next minute, it's bright as shit. You can't even see out the fuck when you're driving. It's so bright. And then 2 minutes later, just pouring down rain again. Like, I've seen it hail and sunshine out here. It was sunny as hell and hailing at the same time.
Oh, man.
I was at work, like, what kind of weird weathered bullshit is this? Like, how is the sun beaming, but it's hailing? Like, good-sized chunks of fucking hail were coming down, like, hard, bro. Like,
Was it
instantly.
windy?
Huh?
Was it windy?
No, it wasn't really windy.
That's
But the hail came down hard, dude. It was literally, we're just at work, and out of nowhere, all you hear is, it was just like, it was just sunny 30 seconds ago. Now, like, everyone's just taking off for cover, like, trying to hide underneath, like, the fucking some of the floors that are already done in the parking garage. Everyone's just taking off for cover. It's like, what's with this state right now, man? Like,
well, that's polar opposite of Vegas, so I'm sure you enjoyed it at least for a little while, right? If not still.
I enjoyed it for a little while, like you said, the first couple months, maybe.
Just a few months, and you're like, fuck this.
Last 5.5 years, man, it's like, it just feels like you go from straight rain and cold to you don't even get that nice, warm in between period, you know, it just goes from straight rain and cold to bam, it's 80 degrees and sunny every day to it gets hotter and hotter, and then that goes away and there's no cool period again. It's just back to fucking rain every day. It's like,
That's one thing that I like about Vegas is that from pretty much October to
fall was always my best time in Vegas.
like early May, it's just beautiful. But all the rest of the year is just
early
fucking
May,
hot.
you might be getting a little too into the hot area for me. I'm getting to about like mid-April maybe. And it's like
Well, see, into April is about 88, but it's windy, maybe 85 and windy. So it kind of cruises all the way until early May, and then it just starts burning us.
yeah, man. It's like everyone always says I'll get used to it out here and like adapt to all this stuff. It's like, man, when? Yeah, I mean, they does have their upsides to Washington. You know, there's a lot more shit you can do here than you can do in Vegas. Like all the different hikes and lakes and mountains and different things we got like close by. Got like the biggest active volcano. You know, you can see it anywhere you're at.
Yeah, I've been to Seattle one time when I was younger. I think I was about like 12 or something. And I was up there for a couple weeks. I went fishing and got to enjoy the rain because I was only there for 2 weeks. So I seen it. I went to the Space Needle. That was pretty cool. But yeah, to live there, man, that kind of sucked.
I
But
barely went to the Space Needle for the first time, like maybe 8 months ago. My friends that came from Vegas like had to convince me to go with them. I haven't really done no touristy stuff. Like I went with an ex-girlfriend to like Pike's Place and all that stuff in Seattle, and I was just like, it just smells like fish. Like, what's so cool about this? A Ferris wheel? Like I can see a bigger one in Vegas. You know what I mean?
we're kind of spoiled coming from Vegas, you know. We have a lot of cool looking shit, and the lights are beautiful.
I remember it was funny when I first moved here. I had a fake ID because I was still 20. So I had my fake ID from Vegas. And I moved here, and like first time I went to a bar, you know, I'm used to Vegas, you know, like smoke, do whatever you want anywhere. I sit down in the bar and I light up a cigarette right away. And every bartender and shit just like flips off on me like right away. And I was like, whoa, like, what am I doing? Can't smoke in here. I was like, it's a bar. I didn't know where you can't smoke anywhere inside here at Washington. I was like, I thought that was a bar thing. I didn't know that was a Vegas thing.
I like that. I don't like the smoking inside places and shit. But you know, it sucks for the smokers though.
Get used to it. I just didn't know the fucking rules, you know. It was just like,
Do you guys have river rafting? I'm sure you got some dope ass river rafting in Washington, right?
there's a
Or
lot of
near
places.
you.
There's a shitload of rivers and stuff out here. Like, way too many to count, to be honest.
That's one of my favorite outdoor activities is river rafting. Obviously, I do not do it often living in Las Vegas, so
Yeah, you can do it all the time here, man. There's so many spots out here. So you can go hit the ocean, you can go hit rivers, lakes, like, and everything's close. Like, I mean, I can go to a lake right now, super nice, fat lake. It's a 20-minute drive, 25-minute drive. Like, that's pretty much wherever you're at. They're just everywhere.
yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, man. So, give me your prediction for Super Bowl matchup and an NBA title matchup.
And man, I'm going with Lakers, and I'm thinking Sixers, but it's going to be Sixers or Bucks. Lakers and Sixers or Lakers and Bucks, and I like Lakers in either of those. And then, like I said, I feel the championship's pretty much Lakers and Clippers, and whoever wins that is winning it all.
Gonna win it, yeah.
And then football sucks. This is the first time in like 7 years. I'm not going to say the Patriots. 7 or 8 years. Who knows how long it's been since the last time I didn't think they'd be the favorite. But got to go with the Chiefs again. I got to go with the Chiefs again, though. I mean, I just don't see no one droning them. And then I think the Chiefs, they better take advantage because their team's going to explode after it's time to pay everyone. Like, they paid Mahomes and Jones. Like, they're not gonna be able to do that with everyone forever. So
Yeah.
I think they'll be like one more maybe this year, and then for the NFC, so I'm hoping the Bucs can make a surprise if Brady can get into his. Depends on what Brady does. I'm hoping the Bucs do for the NFC. Honestly, I want to see Brady get that 7th ring.
I think the only thing stopping the Bucks in the NFC is a Tom Brady injury or the Rona. Put me on record
Well, I
saying
definitely
that.
knock on wood with the injury part.
That'd
I
be
know there's
so
good teams in the
unfortunate.
NFC though. Like I said, see what the Saints do. Saints seem to always be a play or two short from making it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, there's definitely some solid teams. It's all going to come down to the chemistry on with the Tom Brady and the receivers. You know, I agree with you. I think they are going to struggle early in the season. It's only natural. Brand new quarterback, brand new scheme. He's getting all in touch with his guys. But I think with the benefit with that is that those guys have already been in the scheme, so they're going to be in the right places at the right time. And then you have the goat coming in, who should pick up that system fairly quickly. So I think it's just a
And you know
timing
how he
thing.
likes to motivate people. It's not
Oh
like he's
yeah,
getting it. That
he's got
dude's
to
gonna
be the
go in there and
hardest
he's gonna make
to
sure
run.
everyone's working their ass off.
Yes, but I think something that a lot of people forget about with the Buccaneers is that their DBs, man, they were all so young. Starting DBs, it was only in the second season.
Hey,
All the rest were rookies. Free
didn't y'all move up to
safeties,
like top
rookies.
5 by the end of the year last year though in defense?
Yeah, so the first 8 games of the season, we were horrible. We were Our run defense was solid, but our pass defense was it was pretty pathetic. The back half of the season,
Hey, it's also
we were
not
like a
fair though
top.
that Winston gave the other team 30 extra opportunities. Like, like them
That
DBs
puts
are
you
just
in some.
tired, bro. They were just
Yeah, they
tired,
put you in
man.
some fucked up situations for sure. That
Wait,
back
bro, but
half
you
of the
gotta.
season, the Bucks defense was like top 10 or top 8. So if those guys can continue to evolve and grow into better players, I mean, we all know what we're getting out of Devin White, Levante David, and the whole defensive line. We already know what we're getting out of those guys. They're
And
studs.
all those boys are going to be way extra rested this year because, like I said, Brady ain't going to be doing those mistakes and letting Buccaneers defense be on the field 80% of the time. Brady's going to be game managing that shit, making sure he's killing clock, letting the defense rest up over and over. And
Oh yeah, he's
that
smart,
pass
man.
rush, can get healthy with all that extra rest like that they'll be getting. They can come in, make that rush, even come in, and the DBs are, they're going to shine even more.
Yeah, and then
So
we didn't even see a healthy Shaq Barrett and JPP together. JPP got in a car crash last summer, and he missed the first like 10 games of the season or so, 9 or 10 games. So as soon as he came in, he had another We had another explosive guy coming off the edge, JPP and Shaq Barrett, who led the league in sacks. What's going to happen when all of those guys are healthy? Knock on wood. They're all healthy, coming full force, and like you said, all rested up more with Tom Brady game managing and just doing everything damn near perfect.
I said Brady has that effect. Like everyone thinks like talking about what the offense is going to look like, and they don't realize, the defense is already solid. Now they're going to have Brady with him doing that game managing stuff. That affects the defense. They're going to all be rested up every play, or like a lot more. Jameis Winston being your quarterback, those guys are. We just got off the field 2 minutes ago, and we're already back on it. Like what?
Yeah,
Got Jameis
I
Winston
felt
right away.
the Buccaneers went from Jameis Winston, who's a talented quarterback, but like you said, man, he just makes way too many mistakes by far, to the greatest quarterback of all time, who's a little bit older. He is old. He's 43. But I asked you, who's a diehard Patriots fan, you even said you haven't seen a significant drop off from Tom Brady. That's coming from a diehard Patriots fan.
I didn't want him to leave. That's why I was so pissed.
Yeah.
I felt like the
Because
Patriots should have worked on getting them some fucking talent and letting this
exactly.
dude win a 7th ring and go off on his own. Everything he's done, all the discounts he gave them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, fuck, he gave him discount after discount after discount. And then the one time he wants to get paid, you're asking for too much right now. If I was Brady, I'd have walked too, to be honest. Like, fuck.
Yeah.
What other guy's going to bring you 6 Super Bowls? Like,
And
I don't see it being done again.
legacy is on the line too. Because like you said earlier, if Tom Brady goes to Tampa and wins the Super Bowl, okay, now how much of that Patriots era was Tom Brady and how much was Bill Belichick? Versus
Yeah.
if Tom Brady goes to Tampa and he fails, which there's just too much talent around the greatest quarterback of all time. He didn't magically get a year older and just suck. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna dominate. He's gonna do what he needs to do. But if the Patriots are successful, then they're like, oh shit, all right, Bill Belichick, he's doing the damn thing still. But if they suck, it's like, okay, maybe Bill Belichick just had the greatest quarterback of all time.
Yeah, like everyone likes to bring up they won 10-5 with Matt Castle and this and that. And like I remember that year and I was happy, but the only thing I remember about that year, that's the only year they didn't make the fucking playoffs. So it's like yeah, they had a good winning season, but they still didn't make the playoffs. I don't think that would happen if Brady was playing.
Mm-hmm.
The only season that Belichick hasn't made the playoffs in the last 2002, the year after they won the first Super Bowl. The only year he didn't make the playoffs was when Brady was hurt.
Yeah. And
they won 11.
the year that you guys had Matt Castle at quarterback, that was the year after you lost to the Giants in the Super Bowl, right?
That was after the undefeated season.
Oh, losing you. Hold up. You there? There we go.
Yeah. I still remember that hit, man. I forgot the player's name. It was a dirty safety. I remember he got fined again afterwards for another hit. Dude on the Chiefs. Or he used to be on the Chiefs. He used to be on the Chiefs. The one that hurt Brady. It was a safety on the Chiefs back then. Can't remember his name right now.
I don't even remember.
I saw Brady got hurt that year after they lost the Super Bowl. First quarter of the first game against the Chiefs. And I can't remember the safety's name. I used to hate that motherfucker over it. I can't think of his name. Like I said, Belichick has a lot to prove, I mean, you want to take all that credit for, it was him winning Super Bowls. And I remember he for sure lost us the Super Bowl by benching Malcolm Butler against the Eagles. That was the dumbest fucking decision ever. I don't know why. Especially after halftime, you see we're getting destroyed. Put him back in the fucking game already. He's like trying to be cocky and prove a point. I can win without my stars. Like,
how many Super Bowls did they go to?
9. Well, with Brady and Belichick, 9. Patriots altogether, I believe it's at 12.
So 9 in the last
or 11.
20 years.
Yep. And Brady only started for like 18 of those, so he was in the Super Bowl 50% of his career.
Man, when you look at it like that, that's one hell of a stat.
Statistically, you're in the Super Bowl every other year.
So it's interesting with you being a Patriots and a Lakers fan. So would Tom Brady be the greatest player of all time if he won another championship? Greatest athlete of all time if he won another championship?
I think
Versus
so.
if LeBron James wins one, would that make him on the level of Michael Jordan?
No,
Michael Jordan way past him?
I mean, it sucks because I hated LeBron for so long, but then I'm forced to cheer for him now. So now I'm a LeBron fan. Like now he's actually grew on me, and now I mean that finals record, bro. Like he literally got the complete opposite record of Brady. Brady's 6-3, LeBron's 3-6. Like, you cannot put them in the same greatest conversation. Like Jordan's 6-0, Brady's 6-3, LeBron's 3-6. Like that's. I mean, if he wins another one, that's 4-6, but.
With 3 different teams. That's
true. But all 3 of those teams, he had to go and get a lot of fucking extra help. He had to change those teams himself.
I feel that.
It's not like he did it all on his own. He didn't stay and stick around like Kobe had to do, or like. I mean, Tim Duncan never had to stick around because he was always stuck with a fucking stack with Ginobili and Parker. But like. Players back then, Jordan didn't fucking take off. Bulls had to get Pippen and Rodman, but not like they were the Miami Heat fucking big 3,
Yeah.
And not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7 speeds. like I guess you must have been counting the final losses.
All All right. Hey, while we're on LeBron talk, who do you got winning MVP? LeBron or Giannis or somebody else?
Say if LeBron ends up passing or the Lakers pass the Bucks record, they're gonna give it to LeBron. If the Bucks keep the record, then it's gonna go to Giannis. That's
But
seems
they
like that's how normally the NBA is now.
Adam Silver, he announced that the MVP and all of the awards are only going to be given to the players based on the games played up until the quarantine stopped.
Oh, so the rest of the season doesn't even count?
For awards, pretty much, but it still counts for like seeding and stuff like that.
If not, no, it's just gonna be a toss-up between Giannis and LeBron. I can see maybe going to LeBron because they'll say the West has probably been a tougher conference this year than the East, even though the East is a lot tougher now than it used to be.
Definitely is.
Still think the competition that LeBron's facing is a little harder than the competition Giannis is facing. And
No,
I mean,
no
he is
doubt.
old. He's old in his 17th year, and I mean, everyone used to say he couldn't do it in the West, and they got the one seed in the West. So.
Yep,
Except,
I feel that.
A lot of people are going to say, "Oh, he had to go get Anthony Davis and blah blah blah." But it's like, shit, wouldn't you? Like, if he's available, are you going to tell Anthony Davis, "No, I don't want to play with you"?
Straight up, Anthony Davis is going to go down as a top 20, 25 player of all time. And
He
depending
wins a
on
couple
how
rings with the Lakers, he can go up higher than that.
exactly, I was just going to say, if he gets, a few championships, he's definitely going to be higher than that. He's just a unique talent. So, and he's perfect next to LeBron.
Like I said, I'm just hoping. I would have loved, honestly, for them to have somehow kept Lonzo because I think he would have fit perfectly with both of them. Like
Yeah.
I was like, I really was a Lonzo fan. I didn't like the shit his dad does, but I was like, fuck, that dude defensively and his passing, and I mean,
And
you
he's
knew
shooting
he had a slump.
38% from three this season. I'm a huge Lonzo fan, man. I was
I
hurting.
all that pressure that was on him in LA. I think like his dad just set him up for failure with LA. Like
Yeah,
all the hype
it was a
God
little
for him
much.
having kind of a slow start was killing him. Like his dad talking about he's already better than Curry and this and that, and they're like, dude, just fuck. I gotta tell my dad to shut up. No disrespect. Like, come on, dad. Like all
Yeah.
these grown ass veterans out here want to kill me because of you right now. Like.
So he was getting the best of guys every
Yeah,
single
everybody
night
was playing as hard as they could trying to bully him. I remember when Patrick Beverly matched up on him and just
on the first
pushing him.
game.
God, man, he was just. I felt bad for Lonzo. Like Pat Bev is a bully, bro. Like
I liked it. Fuck that. Bring that shit. If that was me as a person, I'm like, fuck that. Bring your best every night. Because one, I'm gonna weather through the storm, and then I'm gonna come out better on the other side. And two, I don't want you to half-ass this shit against me.
hey, the one thing I hate about Lonzo the most, though, for any point guard, man, you can't shoot under 50% in your fucking free throws. Like that shit was just
That's
embarrassing.
embarrassing.
Like you're shooting worse than the fuck. You're shooting like what's Shaq's percentage? Like 49.
No, Shaq is in the 50s, I believe. Lonzo was shoot, but I
I don't.
think
I don't think
this
Shaq.
season is he like in the 60s or some shit, right? It went up a little bit for
I don't know.
Lonzo.
When I was checking on him, that motherfucker was like at 48 with the Lakers. And I was like, no way, a point guard shooting under 50%. And I was like that. Like, I think I could probably still go and shoot over 50%. Like, you give me 10 free throws. Or I'm at least hitting 5, I think.
Yeah.
This guy's getting paid millions and all this hype his dad gave him about being better than Curry. And he's shooting worse than Shaq right now. Like, Dwight Howard was a better free throw shooter than him.
Hey, you're right, man. You're speaking all
Point guard.
facts. I think he's gonna get better over time, though.
Yeah, I hope. It's like, how can you be a point guard and they're doing a hack of though? Like, hack Alonzo. Like, you can't have your starting point guard be getting fouled at the end of the game. Like who's gonna take up the ball for you? Like, hey, Lonzo, sorry, we know you're the captain, bro, but they're gonna foul you as soon as you touch the ball. Like, get out. Like,
Hey, straight up, Lonzo, you better get your free throws up, man. You better been in your fucking crib this entire quarantine just shooting your free
yeah,
throws.
I don't ever hear his dad mention his free throw percentage. Like,
Oh shit, that's good stuff right there. Oh man. Well, you know what, man? I had a really good time talking to you, having you on the show. It was good catching up with you, talking some sports.
man,
Uh,
appreciate you having me on.
yeah, man. You're welcome anytime to get back on when the NBA actually starts back up. We're gonna have some actual definitive information to talk about and some current stats to to throw out there to people. So you could definitely hop on and talk some more with me.
We might have to get you back on a Madden sometime soon, then see if you can see you weren't able to find some competition. Never played me.
You're right. You're right. And maybe one of these days, maybe on the next system if I buy it.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna give me the PS5.
I'm gonna go Xbox, but it should be cross-platform by the time I have back on, so we should be good to go.
Hell yeah.
Well, all right, man. That sums it up for another episode of Talk Smack with Mac. I'm here with my boy Armando. I had one hell of a conversation, man. Thank you. I really appreciate you hopping on. Shout out to the You Know What It Is podcast, holding it down, talking everything Las Vegas. They hooked me up with this dope-ass hat. I'm going to put it up somewhere on my wall. I really appreciate the hat. But, yeah, man, follow me, Talk Smack with Mac on Instagram, YouTube, Anchor, Spotify, Apple iTunes, all that good stuff. Talk Smack with Mac. No cases. Thanks, man. Peace.
Thanks for having me on, brother. Later.
I'm just trying to find them curves. Girls going crazy, good girls going crazy. She calling me daddy, she like, hey, we make you babies. Girl, you crazy. Until I put the tip in and bend that ass over in that baby make position. Salt, bake, Todd Chef, SpongeBob with the frying pan. Slide into them DMs like, hey, yo, y'all niggas hiring. Hit it from the front back like she like, damn, you ain't tired yet. Now all the friends around me like the first one who made fire. Cloud take me higher, cloud take me higher. I'm the light man, good thing I brought my lighter. Black and white crown, Choconilla, law and order. I'm the one to get her off if she ever need a lawyer. She wanna be like Kim K, she told me to record her. Choconilla swear after me is out of order. Black and white crown, Choconilla, law and order. Choco swirl, baby, after me is out of order.